You talk too much. Yeah, I said it. You talk about your goals, your plans, your dreams to people who couldn't care less, or worse, to people who secretly hope you'll fail. You think sharing your vision gives it life? Number. You're killing it before it even breathes. Because every time you open your mouth and announce your next move, you invite doubt, judgment, jealousy. You give outsiders the keys to something sacred. And when they don't clap for you, when they don't cheer you on, you start questioning if you're good enough. Why the hell are you looking for validation from people who've never built anything? You want to be successful? Here's step one. Shut up. Not forever, but long enough to build in silence. Long enough to work when no one's watching. Long enough to let your results speak so loud you never have to. That's the secret the winners already know. You see, real power moves in silence. Real power doesn't need applause. Real power doesn't need attention. It needs results, discipline, ruthlessness. You think lions go around announcing their plans to hunt? You think warriors write essays before they fight? Number, they act, they move, they execute. But you're busy explaining yourself. You're pitching your greatness like it's on sale, trying to convince the world you're going to make it. When the truth is, all that noise is just insecurity dressed up as confidence. Here's the truth that nobody wants to tell you. People don't really care about your goals. They'll smile, they'll nod, but deep down, some of them are hoping you don't pull it off because your ambition threatens their comfort. Your growth makes them feel small. Your hunger reminds them of their own laziness. And when you tell them everything, you're handing them ammo. You're giving them something to tear down when you're not looking. They'll say things like, he's all talk. She's always planning, never doing. I doubt he can pull it off. And the worst part? You'll start to believe them. Because once you expose your dream to the wrong energy, it gets weaker. Doubt creeps in. Hesitation takes over. You lose momentum. That's why you've got to move in silence. Like a shadow. Like a storm that no one sees coming until it's too late to stop it. You don't owe the world an explanation. You don't owe your coworkers a roadmap. You don't owe your friends a play-by-play of your grind. What you owe is action, not words, not promises, not hype, action. Because every time you open your mouth and say, I'm gonna do this, your brain gets a cheap reward. It feels like you've already done it, when in reality you've done nothing. You've traded execution for a dopamine hit. You don't need motivation. You need silence. You need focus. You need to stop announcing and start attacking. You ever wonder why the ones who talk the most usually deliver the least? Because talking is easy. Talking gives you the illusion of progress. Talking fools you into thinking you're working, when all you're really doing is stalling. But silence? Silence is power. Silence is discipline. Silence is saying, I don't need to prove anything. I'll just make it happen. And that terrifies people. Because a quiet person with vision, that's dangerous. That's the kind of person that shows up one day and changes everything. No warning, no buildup. Just boom, success in their face. They'll say, where did that come from? And you'll smile. Because you were building when they were doubting, grinding when they were gossiping, focused when they were scrolling. You stayed quiet, and now you're unstoppable. But don't get it twisted. Silence doesn't mean weakness. It means control. It means you've mastered your emotions. You're not desperate for attention. You're not begging to be seen. You're working because it needs to get done, not because someone's watching. The loudest person in the room is usually the weakest. They talk to cover up insecurity, to hide the fact that they're not really doing the work. But the silent one? That's the assassin. That's the one who's dangerous. That's the one who's already made up their mind. And now they're just executing. So ask yourself, are you building in silence? Or are you talking your goals to death? You can't do both. Every minute you spend explaining, justifying, oversharing is a minute you could have used to grind, to level up, to take one more step forward. You want to know who makes it? The obsessed, the disciplined, the ones who keep their mouths shut, their heads down, and their work relentless. They don't need to be understood. They don't need permission, they don't need applause, because they know the world doesn't reward talk, it rewards results. So stop talking, stop announcing, stop giving people a front row seat to your unfinished mission. Let them wonder, let them guess, let them sleep on you, and when you show up, make sure it's so loud they can't ignore it. This is why you have to stay quiet, because silence isn't weakness. It's strategy, it's patience, it's focus, it's tunnel vision. And when it's time to speak, let your success do all the talking. You're leaking energy every time you open your mouth. Every time you say, I'm going to do this. Every time you post your goals online. Every time you look for someone to cheer you on. You're giving your power away. Listen, most people don't want to see you win. Not really. They want to hear about your goals so they can secretly hope you fail. They want to know what you're building so they can copy it or kill it before it grows. That's the reality. You think you're inspiring people by sharing your plans? You're handing them the blueprint to destroy your momentum. They'll smile to your face and whisper behind your back. They'll nod when you speak, then roll their eyes when you turn around. And you gave them the opportunity. You invited them in. You exposed your strategy. You let the wrong people into the kitchen while the recipe wasn't finished. And now they're criticizing a dish they never even helped cook. That's on you. Here's what winners do. They work in silence. They build without noise. They grow underground, where it's quiet, where it's focused, where no one's breathing down their neck. Because silence is leverage. When nobody knows what you're working on, they can't sabotage it. They can't question it. They can't doubt it. You stay in control. You move how you want. You adapt without distraction. But when you tell the world, now you're building under pressure. Now every delay looks like failure. Every mistake becomes a headline. Every pivot becomes a joke. And that noise slows you down. That noise gets in your head. That noise steals your fire. You want to move fast. You want to build strong. You want to stay focused, then stay quiet. Let them wonder. Let them think you're doing nothing. Let them sleep on you, and that's the advantage. The greatest damage you can do is show up one day with results nobody saw coming. You walk in silent, you deliver loud. No build-up, no teasers, no announcements. Just results. That's what shakes the world. That's what silences the doubters. That's what shuts the mouths that once laughed at your ambition. You think you need motivation? You don't. You need isolation. You need discipline. You need tunnel vision. You owe yourself execution. You owe yourself consistency. You owe yourself results. Because talking isn't progress. Talking is comfort. Talking feels like movement, but it's not. It's a trap. It fools your brain into thinking you've accomplished something, when really you've just made noise. And noise doesn't build empires. Discipline does. So from now on, cut the updates. Keep your head down. Do the work. And let your success speak when it's ready. Not when you're emotional. Not when you want attention. When it's ready. That's how legends are made. Not through hype. Through quiet domination. People will ask, why didn't you say anything? And your answer is simple. Because I was busy becoming everything you said I couldn't be. Let them choke on your silence. Let your results be so undeniable they never ask again. So if you're serious, stop sharing. Stop explaining. Stop begging people to understand a vision they were never meant to see. You want to impress them? Don't talk. Win. And when you're done, let them scroll back to your page and realize you never said a word, but you built it all. That's how it's done. Now do it. Subscribe if this spoke to you. Like the video if you're done talking and ready to work. Stay quiet. Let them find out later.